to go ahead for the requirement of solving solutions to get a figure of 34 million US dollars. We are good to go for with 5 million US dollars as investment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about the competition? Who are your competitors? And
So there are two major competitors to us, ChatGPT and Perplexity. We consider our immediate competitors. But however, we have the edge that we are not going in their domain. We are not entering into any cloud-based solution provision. While we are working on-premise with dedicated customers, with their particular requirements we are working. We are not touching their domain, or of course we understand that they have no intentions of coming down to the levels of respective defense or where they want to go for any on-premise solution. So there is no direct competition in the on-premise solution that we are providing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
check.
Thank you all. And Srikanth from 108 Alpha will take her as a judge from Om Nakka Garu, who has done small fiddle till Srikanth came back. Thank you, Om Garu. Let us go with the next starter.
Sure.
Want to do introduction of Srikanth?
Yeah, just 2 lines about Srikanth garu. Srikanth Perepu is a founding partner at 108 Capital, a VC fund that invests USD of like 3 to 6 million, especially in early growth technology enabled startups. Thank you, Srikanth garu.
Thank you. Let us go with next starter, please.
Everyone, good afternoon, judges. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope this New Year brings right prosperity for all of you. Presti is our enterprise AI solution. Okay. Thank you. We are a startup from Silicon Valley, California. I've been in California for more than 26 years. My background is I'm a chartered accountant, master's in data science and machine learning, alumni of Cornell University. So in the past, myself and my team have worked on several AI projects. And this is the first time we are trying to bring up a platform, having understood the difficulties and complexities in delivering the solution using various other platforms. Particularly, our focus is going to be on the mid-market segment, and our focus is primarily in US and India as well. This is our past experience with one of the top AI projects. And here are we, the management execution team. Myself, Sri Nagesh, and my partner, Hema Malini. She is master's in information security, Colorado University, having experience in more than 15 years in the cybersecurity area. Ashok Agarwal has been my previous boss, and he's my mentor, advisor. He worked in CIO roles in several multinational companies. Fitbit, Google, Philips, Lumileds, several places. Right now, he's an advisor for Shutterfly as well. We have a Chief Technical Officer, Ram. He's a master's in computer science and machine learning from MIT. So we've been working on this for past couple of years to come up with a solution in the platform. And the key area where we saw an opportunity is in the mid-market segment, where companies are struggling to understand what a data science is, what artificial intelligence is. They need to undergo a huge transitioning to the AI, what it takes for them. They are not knowledgeable. They want to focus on their business. And hiring data scientists and programmers and tools, like, for example, SageMaker and all these things, and building the solution is something, it's not their territory. That's where we saw a huge opportunity for us, because we come from the business knowledge. We understand the business problems. We want to talk to the customers in their business language. And these are the key values we are trying to provide. Say, finding the new business opportunities to creating the new value, increase the profitability. These are the targets of several organizations, and particularly mid-sized organizations who wanted to invest and transition to the new AI world. They really are not worried about whether we use Gen AI or machine learning, whether you call it LLMs or GPTs. It doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is how to get there, how to achieve the business value. Right? So our focus is on the new process transition that help them achieve this using latest and greatest technologies. And that's where we have built a platform that will be easy for them to plug and play and implement these strategies, evaluate their strategies, interact with the data sources, networks, systems, and do the data forensics that is needed to generate enough intelligence to drive their decisions. So this is where I'm talking about the product differentiator. We have pre-built solutions for specific areas, which is going to come up in our next slide. And there's no time waste for them. We are going to guide the companies and implement these solutions for them. We have defined a process, specific process from data pre-processing all the way to the decision making, which makes their lives very easy, their C-level executives, to understand what it takes to transition to the AI and ML world. To make things simple for them, we have kind of broken this down into two basic blocks. One that helps in understanding their own data. Do they have the data? How do they generate the data? How do they source their data? And how do they understand their own data? And understanding their data is understanding their business. If they don't understand their data, they can't understand their business. This should also lead them to understanding their business problem. So that is our first target. So we have a solution to provide them. They still have the analytics need. Along with that, we're providing them the sophisticated analytics, which has conversational analytics, including the predictions and forecasting embedded within it, that can add not just the internal data, but a lot of exogenous factors from the external market. And we have the recommendations engine we have a complete data science platform developed that will help them evaluate a lot of machine learning techniques and data science techniques. We keep those processes deliberately in a white box approach, because if you are trying to buy a Tesla car, if it gets into some kind of accident, whom do you want to blame? Technology? It won't fly, right? There's a lot of interesting questions. So We want to keep the technology and the outcome very transparent, and that's what our promise to the customer. So they understand what their decision they are taking and how they're taking the decisions. So we piecemeal this and put it as an integration from end to end. That's our motive. And these are some of the finer points that we have achieved with our customers. I'm going to speed up a little bit on this. This is our high-level process overview. This is what I mean, say, the demand forecasting to market analysis, pricing determination to prompt-based analytics, and we have started implementing inventory optimization, procurement planning, and production scheduling for the company. Use case 1, 2, essentially, I'm putting it here, what we have achieved so far as a POC for some customers. So we are pretty hands-on in terms of implementation and experience. We need to scale it up. That's the need. Yeah, so this is what we are planning right now for 2025. We're trying to achieve, 500K target, US and India, and the investment that we are looking for is 500K. In 2026, we are anticipating to grow to $5 million revenue. We have much higher aspirations, but we want to make sure we have a fully evolved product with capabilities matured and acceptable in all the industries across. Is a high level technical, but that's where we are. I'll be happy to take any questions from the panel. Yeah, sure. Okay. So for the first one, the food processing industry, like I was saying, we help a company understand their data, segmentize their data to understand where they're doing well, where they are not doing well, where is there an opportunity for them to grow more. Several questions. So we are able to successfully provide them these information which was not available through the general routine traditional reporting. It's a new way of reporting. And with that, they are also able to understand their business strategies, for example, like increasing their advertisement or how to manage their discounts, what's the best way, when to time these. All these are possible. And understanding their market analysis and dynamics, which they have some kind of traditional outlook, but if you think about in terms of the machine learning and automating all these processes, it requires much deeper, statistical proof with evidence that this is definitely going to work before we go with the, deploying those strategies. Because the impact, the financial impact is going to be terrible. Exploring the new markets, launching the new products. So we are progressing in those lines. We are able to help them. They are able to really appreciate that value. And like I said, if you want to increase the discount or increase the, launch a new product line, which is a hybrid version of their existing products, or if they want to increase the advertisement, what is going to be their business impact on whether, it's going to increase to the extent that they are anticipating. These are the questions that 99% of the business enterprises are looking for, and that's what we are targeting.
So at these two pilots that you've done, is it more diagnostics or you're actually, I'm guessing you've not really implemented a solution yet.
Yes, so the ultimate goal is to be able to predict, right? What happens. That includes, begins with the diagnosis, to analytics, new ways of analyzing things, to running through the various models and understanding the statistical significance before we come up with recommendations engine, and then go with the deployment. After that, the reinforced learning is again integrated into that process.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So just few clarification questions to begin with. So your pre-revenue,
Is it your pre-revenue?
Yes.
Okay. So these are POCs. These are paid POCs.
Yes, they are paying. Yes.
Okay. And in your next slide, if you can just move to that, you talk about product sales. So this seems more like a services model for now, at least. Is that right?
No, it is a product. So that's the reason why, see, the mid-sized organizations are our target, right? They cannot afford time and material. They cannot afford to pay data scientists for the hourly rates. It's the product, and seeing is believing. They have no idea about data sciences. They cannot fund anything. This is a problem everywhere in the US also. They don't want to fund a project not really knowing what the end state is like. That is the biggest problem in today's data science world is people are talking about AI, but I haven't seen it. How
So
many
you're
is going to
saying
approve?
These are all product revenues that you
Yes, products.
forecasted.
Yes.
So you're saying about 10,000 per customer, 500K. You want to raise 500K. You target revenues of 500K from 50 customers. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you. You are a US company,
Yes. US based company.
so you're looking for funding in US or in India?
So like I said, we are targeting, so our development center has to be in India, first of all. And we are targeting customers in US as well as India. But obviously there's much more revenue, promising revenue in US. There's a lot bigger effort in US to get the customers involved, but the revenue is almost guaranteed and it goes very high. It could be an opposite situation in India if you want to play a volume game. But in terms of the revenue, the potential in India is less, but the volume is high. For the product compatibility, in product maturity and the growth, it is good. India is good. And we need to prove a lot more to gain customers in the US. So we have to have both the countries in the strategy.
This tool is useful for whom? Will you put a lot of information on inventory optimization, demand forecasting? Who is the real user of the tool in that?
Yeah, so in any companies in discrete manufacturing or process manufacturing are the very high fits here. Food processing is one such discrete manufacturing. Our platform is capable of processing both financial and non-financial data. For example, in the healthcare, we are also providing, in the use case that I've given before, we are helping a healthcare organization with certain science experiment in predicting the diabetes and endocrinology.
Thank you. I think we have limited time.
Yeah.
You.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Next startup, please.
Indigos.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. So our company name is IndiGeos. We stand for India, G for Geospatial, E for Enablers, O for Operations, S for Service Providers. We are trying to build geospatial intelligence for all our customers using geospatial data and also AI. And now we are trying to talk about LLM. So what is our problem, right? Traditionally, service companies who are trying to give solutions to the GIS industry, the customers, traditionally it's manual. A lot of manual time is taken to digitize a map, digitize a cadastral map and stuff like that. So we are trying to automate that, and we are trying to view real-time data to our end customers, which are so what's our solution here, right? We are trying to integrate all the possible what you call private, public, and also any local data that we have, crowdsourced data, and we are trying to give a end solution for this customers for that. We are trying to be one-stop solution eventually sometime. As a company, we started in 2018. We built a mapping platform, but during pandemic, we could not get into a lot of traction. So we moved working for geospatial projects. We started working for Telangana government, we started making revenue, and we built AI tool for their agriculture crop yield estimation. And then we built a web platform which can be used for anybody quickly. And then we are working with HMDA and currently with Andhra Pradesh governments also. So what does our value proposition look like? So if you look at all the data sets that we are looking about, there are like 7 different types of data sets: transportation, demographic, and all that. So we build an AI engine, and then we give what the customer wants. For example, land prices are very, very important, and a lot of the registrations are dependent on land prices, but they are not accurate. There's a lot of black money there, and there's a lot of like traffic data is not accurate right now. So that's also with that. So we are currently picking 3 main systems here. Land management, we are active in agriculture, and zoning and planning solutions right now. But eventually we want to be covering all the industry, emergency, and everything else. These are quick snapshots of our projects, the platform. These are for private and public. And we have prominent clients that we have. And these are just tech architecture. And this is not what you call generic for everybody. Depends on the customer, we tweak it and do that. That's it.
No funding gaps.
So we want partners more than funding, because we don't see money as from investor as just a money. We see somebody who can walk our vision. Our vision is to build the best geospatial company from India to the globe. So we had some angel investments, so we are looking at VCs to actually grow that. But we're not looking just for funding. We're looking mentors and partners who can be looking at funding. Is just the outcome of the partnership.
Anything on team you are not mentioned?
Yeah, we are me and my partner Ram is in this session, but we are a team of 35 people right now. With data, GIS people, software, and little bit of accounting and stuff like that.
Okay, how much revenue you clocked? Because you have all the
Last year we clocked around 1 CR, 1.5 CR. We are trying to clock 5 CR this financial year, which is 24 April to 25 March.
So currently, what is your run rate?
So we were 35 lakhs in 2 years back. We are 75 before last year, and 1 CR right now in terms of revenue.
No, in December you did 1 CR.
Yeah, the last financial year. The
Current financial.
current financial year 60, 75 lakhs right now.
57. You have 35 with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we include normal GIS people also. So we were
Profitability?
35 lakhs.
Margin?
We don't. We're not profitable in terms of as a company, but we're operational profitable in terms of revenue.
What's your growth plan?
So we want to grow at 20%. That's where the industry stands. But if we get right investor and right partners, we can grow at least 100x for next 3 years, which is like.
I mean, how? What's the plan?
The plan is, so right now it's what are the solutions that we are providing. Every state is picking up. Like for example, when we did for Telangana, Andhra Pradesh government reached out to us because we not even went to Andhra Pradesh government. They saw that we got ready for Telangana, so they picked us. So we got organic growth more than inorganic. So we are trying to now show that same platform for every state government and central government. So we are working with GTPC, which is Global Data Promotional Activity right now. And we are doing Vijayanagaram entire agriculture planning. So that is a Nirmala Sitharaman plan for the entire PMO plan. So we see that as a Naksha is the second project that we are talking a pilot about right now, which is also about creating maps very, very accurately for that. And Abadi is the third project. So these are very, very 20,000, 25,000 crores project. But if you get even 2-3 states in terms of digitization of that, we are at least 100 crore company by 2027, 28.
No, sorry, I think I missed something. You said you will grow at 20% year on year?
No. If right now we are growing 20% year on year,
Okay.
but with right funding, we can grow 100x quickly.
And that is through predominantly working with the governments and doing their projects.
Yeah, we still believe the government has a lot of use cases. But what happens is that when we are working with government, we are getting private clients saying that, for example, we are working with Telangana for the traditional mapping. So we got private clients saying that we need the data. So they have become our customers. So to buy the data and stuff like that, give us the API or a service, stuff like that. So we are major customers will be always government for now.
Couple of questions around the government business. So how is the competition and how is the working capital?
Okay, the competition is decent. Like, so there are 200 plus odd companies in geospatial industry right now as we speak, and so there's a lot of competition, but there's enough market also. On your second thing, so capital, that's where we see, right? We end up not having sometimes funds, so we are.
Payments from government.
So
What's the
so
cycle?
there, so it takes 3 to 6 months to do the first paycheck from any government institution, but it's every time we pick it each month or 30 to 45 days.
So competition specific to government business, I'm asking. So when you,
Yeah.
is it a tendering process, is an RFP, how does it work?
Okay, it's a tendering process, and so anything beyond 5 CR is a tender process. That's how the governments work. 2 to 5 CR, that's a minimum. Less than 5 CR, you can be nominated or you are empaneled company, then you can get it without a tender. But anything beyond 5, you have to be, you have to go for open tender and stuff.
Oh, fine.
Good to see you, Srikanth. Thank you.
Thank you. Next starter.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Pinto Sinha. I'm the founder of CallLive.ai, and thank you for this opportunity to, bring this vision to, sharing with you all. So we are building a cutting-edge AI-powered voice agent solution that will help, people to get the service done in few seconds. Okay? Just to give you an example, it's your like whenever you need some solution like blocking your card or sort of maybe canceling your flights or anything related to service things like food deliveries and all, it can be done instantly, right? So this solution was built by me and my friends from IIT Kharagpur and IIT Madras. So uh, So actually, this solution was built out of my own frustration. 6 months back, I lost my credit card, and when I reached out to HDFC Bank customer care 6 months back around 7 p.m. in the evening, there was no customer care representative was available to pick up my call and block the card. So I was told to call back next day around 9 a.m. Just think about the frustration, right? So yeah, it wasn't blocked. So I had to wait for the next day at 9 a.m. I called the HDFC Bank. It took me almost 15-20 minutes to block my card, right? So a couple of months back, me and my family just planned for a vacation, and hotels and everything was booked, and the flight got cancelled day before the trip, right? So I just kind of called customer care, tried to reach out to the Make My Trip and Indigo, but haven't got the solution. So I thought there is a need of this solution where this card can be blocked instantly. This kind of emergency things like blocking the card or kind of canceling the flights or extension of the flight or rescheduling it. It's supposed to be done at any time you like, at your convenience, instead of waiting for the next day, right? So that's exactly why we build this solution. And so yeah, there are a lot of these problem statement that we figured out. So the first is the limited availability. As I said, after 6:30, most of these, even the big banks don't provide the services, right? So and there is a need of this solution, right? And due to these human restrictions and holidays and things like that, it can't be scalable, right? And that is the reason, like, there should be some solution that should definitely, can give you the service whenever you need it, right? So there are inconsistent customer experience, like whenever you call a customer care, it is not going to give you the solution instantly. It will like keep you waiting for so long, right? So and then this high operational cost. So multilingual support for these banks like HDFC Bank, SBI and all, it's very expensive, right? So we build this solution, but keeping this in mind that it's going to be like, instant solution whenever you need it, right? Just think about the solution that is like a customer care representative will be available whenever you need it, wherever you need it, at your convenience, and speaks your language, right? So that is the solution that we are building in call live.ai, right? So as I said, it's 24/7 available. It's human-like empathetic responses it provides, and it is multilingual, and it provides both inbound and the outbound solution, right? The inbound in the sense like blocking the card or extension of your flight, or doctor consult. If you want to consult your doctor, you can do it instantly, or lawyer, or food delivery, or grocery delivery, right? And outbound solution like loan provider, or a lot of these GoDaddy like companies where they need this solution because they used to kind of inform the customer before that expiry of the domain, or some loan EMIs to be paid, right, on time. So that is the outbound solution also we provide, and it can be easily integrated with all the existing CRM application that is out there, and it is cost efficient. So currently in India, it's around 50 to 60 rupees per minute. So whenever you call a customer care, it will charge you 50 to 60 rupees per minute. In US, it is around $2 per minute, right? So our solution is very cost effective. It will, it's like 6 to 10 rupees per minute. That's exactly, I mean, it's almost 75 to 80% cost reduction. So if they use our solution, it will the cost will be drastically improved, right? So yeah, and as you see, the sales report says that 80% of the customers are more likely to make another purchase if a positive customer experience the customers get, right? And another HubSpot report, it says 73% customers like service is what makes them loyal to a brand, right? So the customer experience is very important, very, very important. The famous investor like Warren Buffett said, it takes 20 years to build a reputation, and take 5 minutes to ruin it, right? So if you build the solution keeping that in mind, then definitely you'll be building the finest solution in the market, right? So yeah, and it's all about providing the great experience to the customers. And if the customers are loyal, as you see in the problem section, right, 59% customer will abandon a brand after a single poor experience. That means if they get one poor experience, 59% customers, they choose different brand, right? And 33% customer will switch to the brands after single bad experience, right? That's as per PwC report. And the Gendex says 52% customer have left a business because they are frustrated by rude and unhelpful stuff. So sometimes they're human, right? And these human are sometimes, frustrated by after having a rough day.
You have limited time, please push. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. What you're doing.
So why now? I'll just summarize this slide with a single quote from Mr. Bill Gates saying, AI is not a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. So if you either you adopt it or die, right? So this was indicated to the companies who are not going to adopt this solution, AI things in their company. So they are going to die, right? So yeah, that's summarizing this slide. The market's potential is $315 billion at this in 2024, and it's going to be $500 billion, around $500 billion in 2030, right? Serviceable available market is $100 billion plus, and serviceable obtainable market is around 2 billion plus at this point in time, right? And this is not my hypothesis. This is report given in an SNS report, and it's growing like 22 22.3% CAGR year on year, right? So it's a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. This customer care segment is really massive. So yeah, our business model is very simple. It actually ranges from 0.06 per minute to $0.12 per minute, right? It's like 6 to 10 rupees per minute. Currently, at this point, as I said, 50 to 60 rupees per minute is the is the standard, like, you know, industry standard, and in US it's like $2 per minute, right? So it's very expensive. So it is going to be very cheap using our solution, right? Competition, there are two Silicon Valley companies like Vapi and Retail.ai is in these segments, but they are like platform as a service. They're giving this solution to the developers, and the developers are building the solution for the companies, right? So they're not into our segments. So another company called Synflow.ai, they're in the Europe doing the same, and they're also like platform as a service, right? So they're not our direct competition though, and they're in mostly in outside India. So we are going to the first to India. So we'll have a lot of advantage of kind of coming to the market as a first player. Right, the competitive advantage, as I said, it's going to be multilingual. So it will be available in English, French, Spanish, Tamil, Telugu. So it's like, you know, you can talk to the customer care at your language whenever you need it, right? So, and seamless human AI hands off. This is nothing but like, you know, sometimes the queries get complex, and there will be a need of human intervention. So it will be like instantly transfer the call to the human agent, and the human agent will take care of the you know, that particular request. And it is cost efficient. As I said, it's 6 to 10 rupees per minute is what our solution can provide. And easy integration, it can be easily integrated with all these you know, CRMs that is available out there. And it can be used for the campaign optimization. So just think about this. GoDaddy used to provide 10-20% discount for the renewal, right? The loan providers used to provide, you know, sometimes they used to come up with a lot of these loan things. So it can be like, you know, distribute to millions of customer in a matter of days, right? So yeah, we are raising $1 million funds, and our product is ready. 75% of the product is built. And we are going to run this pilot program with these hotel chains out there in Delhi. And so we require this $1 million funding. Most of it will go for the remaining 25% that is yet to be done to be market ready for this particular product. And 35% will go for sales and marketing part. And 40% will go for team expansion, because when the adoption will be, you know, most of these companies, as I said, these banks and loan providers will definitely adapt to the solution because it's so cost efficient. So yeah, there'll be you know, need of some bigger team to manage these operations, and there will be a little bit of operational cost, like, you know, server cost and infrastructure cost, and 5% will go for partnership development. So we are raising $1 million fund at this point. So team, as I mentioned, you know, my co-founder, Subramanian Gurumurthy, he's from IIM Indore. He's my co-founder, having 15 years of experience building OYO, Upgrade. My another partner, Hima, she's there, and she's having 15 years of experience expanding SaaS products outside India. And my technical partner, Rishabh Jain, is from IIT Madras, built AI for Bharat, different multilinguistic models. And apart from that, there are 4 more guys from IIT Kharagpur who's helping me build this particular product, right? So that's pretty much it, is all I wanted to cover. So all I want to say is this call-live.ai is definitely going to democratize this entire call center market in next few years, right? And I just need some help from you guys to come on board, join with us, and help us build this particular solution and take us to the next level. And this is what I wanted to cover. Thank you all very much. Thank you. If you have any question, please ask.
mean, you're building a product, it's 75% ready. Is there some demo or something you can kind of
Yeah.
for us?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just a pre-trained, voice bot, right?
Mm.
If you're saying it's an AI-powered, intelligent, it will help for us to understand, how it works.
Yes, sir. So whenever you just, I'll give you an example for the demo. So let's say, as I said, this first experience came in, why I wanted to build this solution, because I blocked my card and I wanted to, I just lost my card and I want to block that instantly without going through all these hassles of, next day, 9 o'clock and all that. So for that, I have to call the customer care, right? So I'm calling the customer care. Our application is connected with the this number.
Hello, this is CallLive.ai, your HDFC Bank customer care representative. How can I help you today?
Hey, my name is Pintu Singha, and I've lost my credit card. Can you please help me block my card?
I can assist you in blocking your card. May I know your registered mobile number or account number?
8867706225 is my phone number.
Thank you. I've sent an OTP to your registered mobile number. Please share the OTP.
1234 is my OTP.
Thank you for verifying your OTP. I see you have one credit card ending in 5678. Is this the card you want to block?
Yes, that's the one I want to block.
Just to confirm, you'd like to block your HDFC credit card ending in 5678. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm processing your request. Your card will be blocked shortly. Would you
Hey,
like
hey,
to
listen,
replace
I
the
just
card?
got my card. It was under my car. So can you please do not block it? Keep it open. Is it possible?
I've just initiated the process to block the card. I understand your concern, but since you've already confirmed the request to block your card, we've initiated the process. If you want to reverse the block, please contact our customer support team immediately for further assistance. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Okay, so at least can you reissue the card as soon as possible?
Certainly, I can issue a replacement card for you. Your replacement card will be delivered to your address within 5 working days.
Hey, I need the
share the
card as
tracking
soon as
details.
possible. Can you do it in 2 days?
That's fine.
No, no, sir. It is actually live. You can dial the number also from your phone. So right now, no, right now it is like, by default, OTP was given and the phone number also given, because we don't have any bank to or somebody to connect with us. So I'll give you one more quick example for doctor consultation. Okay. Yeah.
No, we have a very limited time. You have taken more than that. Only one question. There are many boards are coming which are speaking today. Why you are different from others?
So I don't want to compete with anyone, to be honest. We are building one of the finest solution in the market that will definitely going to democratize one very traditional and such a big market, right? And even if you like, as I said, it's such a big, even if you just go into the small niche of this particular segment, it can become a $1 billion company, right? And I'm here to build the perfect solution that can help a lot of people like me, right, who was going through all these viral videos. I hope you had gone through a few days back, where the customer was crying, where every 10 seconds the money was getting deducted, and he was so helpless. He was calling the banks, but this SBI was not even picking up the call, right? The call, this video went.
Thank you, because the time is very limited. Understood. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. One last company now, right? Let us keep check of our time. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sai. Um, Happy New Year to everyone. So we are from a company called LostPeak.ai. So this product so before I get into the details of the product, let me walk you through the main points we have. So yeah, so there is a saying that goes by, justice delayed is justice denied, right? So in the current Indian legal system, there are around 50 million cases that are in pending state. A startling fact is that around 23%, which is staggering, 1/4 of the cases are pending from the past five years. So they haven't moved from where they were. Some of the major issues around why this is happening is that the lawyers have to go through lengthy manual processes, right? They need to understand the case in detail, research about it, then draft for a particular case, then provide it before the judges and so on. So right now in Indian context, if you look at the legal assistance or any software that will aid the lawyers or paralegals, there are not many present. So that's where we wanted to get in, using the concepts of generative AI and traditional AI, as well as automation wherever possible. We wanted to introduce an end-to-end platform for the lawyers and legal teams, wherein the throughput of the cases will be faster. So today, on 2024, we are seeing it at 50 million, but hopefully within the next 3 or 4 years, that should come down. So why we wanted to pick this particular thing is, as I mentioned, in the Indian context, there are not many tools. So we have the product ready. I mean, it is under development and the beta version is already out in the market. So some of the features, I will quickly go through the features that we have developed. The first thing is that there is a legal research assistant. So at the prompt, right, you can understand what kind of judgments, what kind of citations can be applicable for a particular case. So that will enable the lawyers in speeding up the drafting process. So that is based out of the NLP capability. So we have also introduced a feature where the conversation between a lawyer and a client, right, that can be recorded, and at the end of the conversation, you get a transcription of it, along with the suggestions as to what should be the next steps and a detailed draft. So the lawyer can use it to make a petition and put it before the judges. There is also this automated document review. You just upload a document and understand what are the pros and cons, what are the things that are in favor of you, what are against you, instead of reading through the document in its entirety. Another feature that is live is we are able to translate documents. So a lawyer sitting somewhere in Rajasthan, he wants to so practice in Telangana. It is not possible right now, but because of the translation feature, so they can translate documents from different languages into others. So one of the key things we also wanted to do is arbitration and mediation management. So before someone goes to court, right, there is something called Arbitration Mediation Act of 1996 in India. So we wanted to make it online. So where we onboard the arbitrators, we onboard the mediators, and do the process online without any physical consultation. So we also wanted to develop legal services on our platform. For example, if you want to get a notary document of something, right, instead of going to a notarized lawyer, you can avail these services online. Some things that are due are, say, predictive case outcomes, compliance. So these things are in the pipeline. So we will be completing them in the next couple of months. So this, quickly on the workflow management, right, there are many tools, but something that will manage the case from the beginning till it is disposed, right? For example, we integrate with e-courts of India, then pick up the status and then send automated notifications. All the communication can happen over our platform. So coming to the market opportunity, Yeah, so currently there is a spend of close to $2 billion in India, and which is growing at 8% CAGR. There are, as I spoke, 50 million cases that are pending, and approximately 2 million lawyers are registered with the Bar Council of India, but out of them, research said only 4% of them are actively using any kind of software or AI tools. So there is a huge potential. Compare that with the US, where it is more than 75%. 75% of the lawyers there are already using some kind of AI tools. And within the arbitration mediation feature, the growth is 12%. So we wanted to tap that particular area. And there are these software which are addressing only some areas within the legal life cycle, but there is no one-stop solution that caters to the entirety of the case. So our target segments are, we would like to target the solo practitioners, say enterprise legal teams, which are sitting in large organizations. They need to handle the cases. So we develop a customized solution for them. There are these law firms, how they wanted to manage the law firms end to end, right? And also the most important aspect is we wanted to empower the citizens with the right knowledge. Right now, citizens are not aware of what power they have. For example, there was a video that was circulated. If you don't carry the documents of your car, right? There's a provision where you can always come back within the next 1 week and go to the police station. So that is not known by a lot of people. So they just panic. They pay the money to the traffic. So that way we have a lot of areas that the citizens are not completely aware of. So we will make them aware on our platform. With respect to global expansion, we wanted to get into other countries in a short span of time. So something like Commonwealth countries which have similar judicial system like India, for example, Australia and say Bangladesh, Pakistan, and so on. So the go-to-market strategy is by the end of Q2, we wanted to onboard at least 10K lawyers. So out of 2 million lawyers in India, and at least 30 services we wanted to onboard. So we are already in talks with close to 10 legal firms and 5 enterprise legal teams to understand the pain points and make the product better. And also by 2026, we wanted to venture into the international markets. So currently the product, the MVP version of it is completed, and we are doing some kind of testing on that. So the team comprises of myself, Sai, Omkar, Rishabh, they are here. So I am alumnus, I am Lucknow MBA pass out, then Omkar is from IIT Bombay, Rishabh from IIM Calcutta. So in the interest of time, I would like to stop the presentation here, and would like to see if there are any questions.
Can you just go to your first slide? Yeah. So when you say it's currently under testing, you mentioned a lot of these.
Yeah.
Which of these, you have listed many here, right? In terms of solutions.
Exactly, yeah.
So let me be a little more specific. Let's say AI-enabled voice to draft or automated document review. Let's say in the automated document review, would it be able to differentiate, understand if the transferee gets interchanged?
Yes, definitely.
Would it pick up a logical context,
exactly,
syntax, or would it be more grammar and language?
No, not like that. So for example, if I upload a contract that runs into 1,000 pages, so I can ask questions over it, like who is the petitioner, who is the defendant, say what are the key dates.
Let's say there is a mistake by manually made someplace instead of transferee was typed.
Okay.
Would it pick up when it actually reads the document? Because that's more to do with the context.
Exactly. Yeah. So Omkar, I think it'll do, right? I'll invite Omkar. So is there?
You are absolutely correct. So there is a concept of contextual search which we have put in this. Of course, that's not a new concept, but all of the specific things that we are putting in, the translation, audio to text translation, all of those things are specific things which we are packaging in a specific way which lawyers actually require. So you for your answer, very shortly, yes, that's correct. It would be able to find out that particular difference.
Speech to text, what level of accuracy is it in-house, built in-house?
Yes, so speech to text and directly speech to draft. That is also something which is unique to us, wherein the lawyer can actually just suggest that we need to file a petition, a writ petition, any kind of, I mean, there are a lot of small documents which are repetitive in format, which every one of them is doing in the document, in Excels, all of these places. They don't have any tools as such to be utilized over there. So for that also, they can just say that I need a petition to be written for this person, I need a house rent agreement to be created in between A and B. This is the address, this is the cost, whatever, and it will generate the basic draft. They can further build on top of that. They can add further amendments, addendums, all of those things. Yeah.
Is there any ask in fundraise?
Yeah, we were aiming for $1.5 million. Primarily, we wanted to set up an in-house database. Currently, we are dependent on third-party databases where all the judgments and citations are stored. So we wanted to develop that in-house. So that itself costs about $1 lakh, and vectorizing them, all that, and
And on
for marketing.
competition, there are few companies in this legal. tech space.
Exactly, yeah. So
You
in the
mentioned
in
only two. You mentioned only two. We have seen more than that. But are you seeing on the ground?
so sorry, what was that question again?
There are few companies in legal tech space in India.
Yeah.
And our Om Prakash sir is also running one legal tech company.
Oh, okay. So we are aware of a company called Jana.ai, which has similar features like us. And in the US, there is something called Harvey.ai. So we are aware of these two. So these are specific to AIML, but we wanted to cover even the case management and other contract management, other
Thank you.
modules.
Time is limited.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
sure.
to- Thank you for your presence.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think thank you all. We did 5 companies presentation today. All has done well, except one or two has to improve on their presentation. Sir, sir, anything is there we have to tell to the startup? That's all. Thank you for your. Okay. So once our scoring has been given, I think along with Hyderabad Angels and FuturUS Capital, we'll have I think Wall Street Angels is also there. We will do a call one-on-one with each one of you for putting for investment. We'll give a feedback to all the 5 companies. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your help, sir. Basically, Manoj, could you please come here and hand over bouquet to Ratnakar Garu? Thank you for your help, sir. Chaitanya, could you please come here? And hand over bouquet to Kalyan Garu. Thank you for your help, sir. Vijay Garu, could you please come and hand over bouquet to Shrikant Garu? Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. I think.
Next up, it's going to be a panel discussion. And please continue.
Thank you. I think as discussed with Om sir, we will announce the winner at the end of the event, and we request our minister when he is present to give the prize to the winner. I request all the startups who presented today to stay back. Thank you.
This occasion of launching of FuturUS partners. We have very key individuals over here who is going to talk about their contribution and how they're going to propel this venture going forward and bring it to our success. So we have some distinguished gentlemen over here as a part of a panel. So I would like to introduce them without any further delay. So here we go. So first we have Mr. B.V. Naidu Garu. He's been a pioneering leader. He's not here yet? My bad, I'm sorry. Who else is here then? Okay. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yes, so yes, good evening, Jay Chaudhary Garu. Thank you very much for being here. And he's a celebrated entrepreneur, innovator and angel investor with over 4 decades of impactful contributions in the Indian IT industry. He's been a formal special chief secretary for Andhra Pradesh government and a co-founder of pioneering ventures like Talent Spirit and Portal Pair, which has been acquired by NVIDIA. And he's also very proud to say that he was a part of ISRO satellite ventures, where he was responsible for telemetry technology for launching Rohini and Bhaskar satellites, which were the first satellites that India ever launched. So thank you very much for your contribution and service, sir. We really appreciate that. And he's also currently spearheading the India's blockchain standards at the Bureau of Indian Standards. And he's a very keen, enthusiastic supporter of startups, fostering innovation and collaboration. So, sir, without with all due respect and with all your contribution, thank you very much for what you're doing, and we would like you to come onto the stage and say a few words and share your experience with us. Okay. Okay. Uh, so next we have Mr. Srikant Perupu garu. He's a founding partner at 108 Capital and a venture capital fund investors. He's has about 20 years of experience spanning venture capital investment, and his key achievements has been partner with 37 startups, deploying $75 million across India, and fostering an ecosystem of startup companies over in India. So that's a very key achievement you have as and contributed to the Indian Global IT Hub. Thank you very much for being here, sir. Next, we have Mr. B.V. Naidu. I think he is still on the way. But to moderate that, I would request Mr. Ratnakar to come onto the stage and oh. I'm sorry.
Most of us know me, Ratnakar. I represent Hyderabad Angels as Investment Director and CEO, and been startup ecosystem for last 6 years after my predecessor Srikant. And thank you for Om Nakagara to moderate this session. This session is more on how deep tech and startup ecosystem is evolving in India, and especially in Hyderabad. So that's more of the session. Right, sir? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I will hand it over to Mr. Ratnakar to take it over from here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, my head bow to my guru, Jay Chaudhary garu. He has been an inspiration, and he's helping startup with ISL, Indian Startup Forum. Lot of activities happening. I don't know how many really know. Sir is doing great job bringing many startups on the platform, helping them to raise money. Sir, thank you for your experience and support what you're doing for startup ecosystem. Many people have, thank you. Many people have one question, sir, with regard to Hyderabad, because when I entered in, the question came back, Ratnakar, how Hyderabad can be the next Bangalore? And I said, sir and T-Hub, lot of activities going on. Anything, your thoughts on that, sir, before we go to the deep tech startup especially? Your views are well taken, sir, for the interest of the members who are sitting here.
Thank you, Ratnakar. I have seen the startup ecosystem growing from the days of Hyderabad Angels. There was no Angel Forum in Hyderabad. It was very difficult for us to start the Angel Forum called Hyderabad Angels. And that time, quality of the startups very, very poor. When we had the first startup conference in association with the Indian School of Business, it used to be called TAI Connects. So sometime 2005 or 2006, the first conference at ISB. When we held that business plan competitions, we invited all the investors from Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi. They all came, VCs and Angel Forums, and they looked at whatever the business plan submitted during that conference. End of the conference, they gave me the feedback. Jay, don't call us next time. We have wasted coming all the way to Hyderabad. These business plans, whatever the startups have submitted, they are worse than the student project reports. So that was the ecosystem of the startups way back during that period. Then we formed a forum called Hyderabad for Innovation. Myself, BVR Mohan Reddy, Senior Raju, then ISB Dean Ajit Ranganekar. We all formed as a team, and we used to go to IIT, IIT, and started telling about the startup ecosystem and all that. So over a period of time, I think Hyderabad evolved as one of the startup destination. Still long way to go. Maybe catching up with Bangalore. Still, I think Bangalore is way ahead. I was told in one area called HSR layout in Bangalore, there are more than 6,000 quality startups in just one area. So that is the level of startup ecosystems in Bangalore. Bangalore evolved for a period of time. This thing, so Hyderabad is still has to catch up. Hopefully, with the T-Hub, T-Works, with all the funds like what Srikanth and Hyderabad Angels and startup our own fund, Succeed Innovation Fund. We have a number of VCs and angel forums. A lot of startup activities are happening. Maybe I think the next 5-6 years we should be able to catch up with Bangalore.
Thank you, sir. Actually, and Srikanth, any views from your side, because you have been there from 2013. You are seeing for last decade very closely Hyderabad. Just few questions were there from members, at least your view on that.
Sure. Good. So I think just to add what JSR said, so some of them started Hyderabad Angels, and after that T-Hub happened, and then like Triple IT Hyderabad, does a lot of good work. There was one of the founders there. I'm on the investment committee for a couple of investment committees there. So as Sir rightly mentioned, I think Bangalore's been a little more organic. For us, I think it's fairly new, and however, I think it would probably start looking better in the next decade or so, sir. Definitely, as Sir mentioned, in terms of number of startups in a particular area, likewise number of VC funds also in a particular area. Apparently, that amount goes to in few tens of billions of dollars, a street or a particular locality. So you would need all those players part of the ecosystem to contribute. And I think it's heartening to see Om Garu also having a connection with Hyderabad with this fund. And we've seen some time back somebody else also launching a fund right from here. So with the entrepreneur ecosystem, with a lot of, I would say academic institutions coming into play, VC ecosystem, accelerators, incubators, all of that are coming together. So we will have to kind of be a little more patient. Yeah.
Thank you, Srikanth. The current panel discussion is where vision meets venture. What VC seek in disruptive founders and future of deep tech investment. FuturUS Capital is looking more into deep tech investment and technology investment. Certain insights we would like to bring it during this discussion. Sir JSF, I know you have been started a deep tech startup and successfully sold, and you are one of the pioneers from Hyderabad. And many deep tech startups are coming now in Hyderabad also trying to raise funds. So one of the key points people are looking is founders. Founders plays an important role. They're asking what are the characteristics of disruptive founders, what is the vision they have to carry, how the execution capabilities will be watched by VCs. Any insights from your experience?
I don't think we require disruptive founders. We need good founders with a good integrity, what they want to, because when they want to utilize the money from others, they have to be very responsive to that. So many founders, they keep telling, no, ours is going to be a unicorn, and without doing much research into this thing. So my suggestion to such founders, let them do more research into before they get into the startup mode. Without that, I mean, fooling some people, asking them to put some money, their friends and families, and we see 90% of the early stage startups are still failing in India. So what happens to all the money who invested into them? They're all getting into the thin air. So my request to all the founders, before you ask any money, if it is your own money, whatever you want to spend, you can always spend. But if you take money from either your friends or family members, you have to be doubly sure that at least you are going to do something in the journey. So instead of disruptive founders, I want responsible founders are required to make sure that they become successful in their journey. Maybe Srikanth can add.
I can't agree anymore. So to add to it again, once again, I think you'll have to be like little bold and audacious in terms of what you're trying to achieve and target. But of course, keep your head down in terms of working towards it. I mean, probably that's one big difference between Valley and India is look at Elon Musk or a bunch of others. It's really about audacious dreams and then chasing those dreams. And as Sir said, of course, you need to be disciplined. You have to be responsible towards your investors, and all of that is very important. But I think just to, little more specific to Ratnakar's question is definitely you need to have bolder dreams and then head down and execute on them. That's very important.
Yes, Srikanth, I think it is well said. One of the point which is coming from the VC world is deep tech needs a lot of capital. They're saying founders are coming with different capital needs. Some is coming with $500,000, some is coming. Today in the pitch session, we also seen somebody has asked for a $5 million. So how founders can align with these expectation to unlock funding and strategic support? Because in the pitch session also we have seen there were two questions on that. One is, how do they have to look for funding for deep tech? Is it any KPI strategy is there? Second is VCs are really providing strategic support to them? Any?
No, so age-old answer, right? I mean, they're quite cliched again. So, if you're trying to build something big and something good, definitely there are a lot more investors. The truth on this side of the table is that there are more investors chasing few good companies. So if you're actually doing something very good, then you do not really have to worry about capital, right? Of course, you would have heard this from many people, but this is the truth. And which is why in whatever winter or anything you call it, still transactions are happening. Some companies are still getting funded. Valuations apart, though that's just a cycle. Valuation is just a cycle though, right? There is, funding available for deep tech, but then just don't put, again, this is also cliched, and for the last 3-4 years, I think a lot of people have been saying it, but I think everybody should understand that just adding AI will not help unless you kind of come up with a use case and, kind of help explain. Like most of you today who presented here, most of you said you are product-based companies. The proof of the pudding is how does the product work, right? If you are early, at least show us what the product is like. If you have customers, then talk about the testimonials, what this, how did you make difference to their business? Those are really important.
Sir, generally for deep tech startups, it should be of global level. It cannot be at regional level when we speak about deep tech startups. And you have a journey of that, how we build a global level product from India. That is a big question. So what factors and what kind of funding these guys have to look when they're building? Some of the people are looking at local problems, mid-size and SME problems. Is it that a need, or you want people to focus? Whenever it is called a deep tech, it is a world problem and a global problem. We have to look at both on the pricing point and the product quality and quantity. Your views, sir, on that?
See, when we started our startup, those days there is no domestic market in India. We were not digitally connected, and consumerism was on the lowest this thing. So everybody has to go to US to set up their startups. The market was there. Today, in India, with 1.4 billion people digitally connected, recently there was an Economic Times article that even the spending pattern in the entire rural India, they are on par with the urban India spending. With that kind of a spending happening in the country, if you're able to solve the local problem in a sustainable way, there's a huge market within India itself, either in the education or agri or food technologies or healthcare. There's so much of opportunities within India. So these entrepreneurs are lucky that there is a huge market, huge funding is available, a lot of mentors are available to guide them, and this thing, there is that ecosystem was not existing those days when we started the company here. And also when I started Portal Player in Hyderabad, we were not able to get VLSI chip designers to come to Hyderabad. Finally, we had to recruit some people, fresh engineers from local engineering colleges, send all of them to our US office, get them trained, After 6 months, we had to take them back. Those were the problems. Today, that is not the problem. You take any technology, people are available, and or mentors are available, funding is available, market is available. I think India is going through the right direction as far as the startup ecosystem. That's why you see so many unicorns. They already crossed 130 or whatever the number, and many more are going to be in the pipeline. I think one need not have to look at only global market. There's enough market in India. If they are solving the real problem in a sustainable way, there is a big opportunity in India itself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any viewpoints?
No, so exactly. So I think India offers unique, opportunities in terms of problems that India has, right? And that's very unique to India. So, so while a global product is true, but India-specific solutions to, catering to India-specific problems is actually a very large market. And for that, it's good if you're really innovative and you're the first mover, but even if you're trying to replace the incumbent and you're probably the second or the third or top 5 category leader, still the market is so huge that probably it's still a very good opportunity provided you execute it well, right? So if it's innovative, it has a global product appeal, great. Even if it's not, it caters to a large market, which is India, and you're able to execute well, then India is the market.
Thank you, Srikanth. And around 5-6 years back or 8 years back, with 1 crore of investment, considering the salaries of the tech, product build-up, design ideas, people were able to execute. Currently, what I observe is many of the startup founders are coming with minimum 4 to 5 crores investment in deep tech, because they're saying the cost went up, build-up has went up, even the tech salaries went from 2.5 lakhs to 5.5, 6 lakhs, and IT grads are asking 20 lakhs. The question came from one of the, coming from US-based VCs also, India is becoming little expensive in comparison with US because of the increase of inflation and cost. So any directions are from your side for startups? Is it a reality what you're observing on the ground?
My observation is, see, these are all transient issues. See, the demand supply. Say after COVID, lot of demand was there for good people, and every MNC company or Indian MNCs also they started poaching, and that's why the salaries went up and all that. See, today in India, when I studied in IIT Madras, there were only 4 IITs. Today, every state has got IIT. For example, combined AP, not even single IIT was there, no IIM. Today, Telangana has got 1 IIT, 1 IIM, then Andhra Pradesh also has got. You go to any Timbuktu, there are some quality institutions of excellence. On top of that, triple IITs, NITs, and private universities, good private universities. I think quality of manpower in India is now really good. So for startups, I mean, that number is sufficient. The transition period post-COVID, I think things change little havoc, and I was told that those people are getting laid off. That's what don't quote me, but that's the kind of a market this thing. I think these aberrations will get settled because India is one country. We are able to produce the quality manpower at scale. I don't think any country can come anywhere close to India to produce that kind of a quality manpower at scale. If we are having that kind of raw material for startups, the only question of maybe another 1.5 years, things will get stabilized, and a lot of startups will have very good high quality manpower at a reasonably lower cost. I think so things are going to be better.
Sir, only complaint, sir, before we go to Srikanth. Some of the US-based investors who are coming to India, because previously at 1 crore, 10% dilution in the capital, 10 crores valuation, people are putting in money. Now they're saying many of the startups are asking $3 million to $4 million valuation with $500,000 run rate. Why there is a sudden increase in valuation? And this is the point many startup
these are
founders
also
came back.
again the spikes. Some of them without having any, they go after the valuation and all that. I think those things also getting stabilized. I don't think, we do not have to worry about those spikes which are coming. Because when you have got, see today, there are so many angel forums, so many VCs, but they don't have good quality deal flow. Every VC is suffering. Maybe you must be noticing, we are noticing, maybe you also have the same problem. Good quality startups is a big issue today. Money is, funding is available. So when you don't have the good quality of the startup, that number, automatically they will say, they think that my company, my product is going to be valued very high and all that. All these things again will get stabilized. Maybe Srikanth.
Any viewpoint?
So, I mean, while partly it's true, Ratnakar, what you mentioned, but everything in world is relative. So even today, we probably still have the cost advantage over America. Look at a sales guy's job in America is nothing less than 250K or 500K or whatever if you want to hire to sell your enterprise product out there. If you build it like a global product, it's a product company. You can sell outside of India, unlike a services company. So, when you talk about salaries, maybe they have slightly increased in India. But then from a startup's perspective, I think all of us have seen, it's important that the founders don't treat their own startups and kind of start taking too much in terms of salaries. It's important to attract the right talent. And also many of them are already kind of assuming a chairman emeritus kind of a status just after Series A and hiring a CEO, and all the founders have to really roll up their sleeves and continue to work to a considerable amount of time is essentially. So in that way, you obviously keep your costs low, and then you're more viable. To your second question on valuations, valuations are, I believe personally, that it's always the founders may have an ask, but it's the investors who have the choice to agree or disagree. So all these unicorns, whether they've I would say, succeeded or failed in terms of the valuations were probably driven by investors. So it's really up to investors to kind of, in a word, rig it. So it's entrepreneur will always ask. I mean, if, as an entrepreneur, you have every right to ask, instead of 10 million, maybe a 20 million valuation. It's really about the investor. And for you, it's really about getting a competing term sheet, or, and if you're able to get that, of course, you'll have to look at who's adding value and many other such, fundamental things. But if you're getting great value and everything is even Stevens, why would you not take it, right? You should take it, rather. So it's really the investor who probably has to, exercise that caution in terms of whether these guys can raise the next round and without a down round coming into picture, and therefore are they really ready? That's the call really the investor has to take. And then it's the entrepreneur's choice to take the money from the investor or not.
Just wanted to add, see, when we started our first company, Portal Player, I took 90% pay cut from my previous, I used to head Metamor Enterprise Solutions. Though we raised about $83 million VC fund. That was the first startup. Second startup, when we started the tech company TalentSpring, for the first 3 years, I did not take any salary. So the founders should have that kind of a, what do you call, hey, we are taking the money from others. That money has to be properly spent for this thing. I mean, money, our VC fund also, we see some founders, they are taking more salaries than even their employees. They are founders. They are anyway. They got equity. That's where they get the this thing. They themselves start taking more salary and draining away all the fund. Then all the issues will.
Right, so rightly said. Many times, founder come to me. I'm not drawing salary. My sweat is there. We said the value of 10 crores or 20 crores. What we are giving for your sweat is the equity what we are giving for their strategy. I request founders to look out that otherwise we don't give that valuation if you're a pure employee of an organization. Thank you. Sir, looking into deep tech, and at what stage they have to look for cross-border opportunity? Today, looking into 2025 and way beyond. Initially, last 5-6 years, many of the deep tech companies are pushed to go to US. What they understand, most of the founders who came to me and met. Now, how do you see this market? At what time they're asking we have to go to US or APAC region to sell our product in the USA?
See, some companies where we invested from our succeed innovation, after 2 stages of funding, they wanted to explore the US market, particularly cybersecurity startup. They wanted to look at the opportunity. It all depends on which space they are in. Suppose it's a agri-tech or food tech, this thing. India itself is a huge, they don't have to really, they can conquer India, they'll become a billion-dollar company. So it all depends on which space they are. Depending on that, probably it's a, I mean, strategically they can move whether India headquarters or US headquarters, depending on where the market.
From your
Yeah,
side.
so exactly. I mean, you have to be closer to your customer, right? And if you're building a product, be it edtech or fintech, and if, assuming that it caters to the regulatory environment in that particular place, it makes lot of sense to, and also those customers would want a presence there, right? For them, it's like otherwise out of sight, out of mind. They would want probably a US registered company, a salesperson, or the top management there. So it does help. But again, we go back to the very basic of, what are you trying to build? You're trying to build something which has appeal not just in India, outside of India, then you should go out and establish a base and then, be closer to your customers, provided you're able to serve them. If your target customers are in India, then don't force yourself, don't leave anything on the table. You hardly scratched it and then say, I'll open in Dubai, I'll open here, I'll open there. That's like, diluting the whole, resources and the effort. So if you're building for US, you can take it for India, and you can take it outside of India, then you should evaluate those options. Otherwise, you shouldn't leave anything, on the table. If it's India and it's a large market, you should not, let it lie there. Yeah.
Srikanth, this question is for you. How will you evaluate TAM, total addressable market, especially for deep tech startup? Because they're saying some data is not available in secondary market. Anything from the VC perspective, how you guys see for a deep tech startup, how do you see the TAM market share? Any idea?
So, I mean, the entrepreneurs come up with a lot of creative ways and throw these TAM numbers at us, right? But at our end, essentially, we take different views, but most likely it's a very ideal and a pessimistic view in terms of, the downside risk, right? We kind of see really what is the immediate market that you target and what you can achieve, let's say in the next 3 to 5 years. So that's very important, right? And also what are the adjacent markets? So first is at the heart, at the core of your offering, what is the immediate market? And in that also, is it a mid or a higher or a lower? So you kind of break that market, which is more addressable for your offering. That's very important. It could be a 10 billion market, but if you're only 100 million, but in that 100 million, if you have a 60% market share, trust me, it's not bad to begin with, right? So you don't really have to target a 10 billion market. Maybe you can improve, you can have a version 2, 3 catering to the entire market. But if you're somebody you have a niche offering and you have some customers and you have a great market share in that small subset of it, and then you can extend to other spheres, nothing like it.
Sir, the question is for you, sir. Most of the deep tech founders are techno entrepreneurs. They are not fully exposed to sale. They do some product, they do some service, they come and build the product. How do you suggest to build their sales capability and take it to next level? Though VC funding is coming, techno entrepreneurs have their own challenges in sales. Any views there for help?
Yeah, this is a typical problem for many startups. Many tech people, they think that we have the capabilities to build a product. They don't know how to market that product because they don't have the domain knowledge, and also they don't have the business development, marketing expertise. So generally in US, what I've noticed, suppose the founders have started a company, at some stage, the CEO, he steps down and he becomes a CTO, or he takes some other role, and they bring some external CEO who can take the company from that level to the next level. That kind of dynamics happens in US startups. Whereas in India, I mean, they're all emotionally, oh, I am the founding CEO. I mean, whether he has got the capabilities or not, he want to get into that this thing. I mean, ego issues will come and all that. I think that kind of maturity is still not there among the Indian startups. Maybe they have to learn a lot from the other startups around the globe. Unless you have that kind of a mechanism to keep dynamically changing depending on the need of the market, and otherwise you'll not be able to survive.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think first and foremost thing, for even large enterprises, but more so for startups, is that the founder CEO has to be the best salesperson in the entire organization, right? And at every level, every person has to able to sell. And it starts right from finding your co-founder, or even before that, convincing your family that you're taking this plunge, leaving a great job or something. So you really have to be a great storyteller, a great salesperson. Whether or not you're a product guy or a technology guy, or or anything else, you have to be a salesperson in the first place. Sell that vision, able to convince people, subsequently retain people. So it's very important that the founder, CEO, whatever name you want to call, more so in startups, everybody has to have a very sales-driven approach and orientation.
Thank you, Srikanth, and sir, well said. And one more question to you, Srikanth, before I go to sir. How are you seeing deep tech trend landscape in 2025 and way beyond? Any specific sectors which are expected to grow well, and where people need to focus today?
Right. So, the way we look at, we are a bit sector agnostic, but it's tech and tech enabled. So for us, what is important is, today, as sir mentioned, it's very disruptive and things are changing by every quarter or so, right? So it's from a VC fund cycle perspective, which is 8 to 10 years, and we deploy probably over 3 to 4 years. It's very important that we kind of understand where we are getting in. So if we do not understand, we basically will not get into those investments or opportunities. So deep tech landscape is changing tremendously. And when we say deep tech, I think most of us are just talking about ChatGPT and AI, but then there are many other sectors where a lot of, be it in biotechnology with or without AI, a lot of, work is happening, healthcare, life sciences. So over there, I think, it's, we are very positive in terms of our outlook that technology is going to disrupt a lot of these, old economy sectors as well as sunrise sectors, be it climate tech and bunch of others, where you would see a lot of action, but they're still very early days, I would say.
Sir, this is the last question for our day. Many startup founders are asking a question, sir, with your experience, whether the startup need to grow in a span of 3 to 5 years for VC to prove that they are a good startup, or they should be patiently growing their company over a period of 10 years and take funding at right time. What is the view we have to take, and what is there in their mind they have to keep running for funding and keep running for raising the revenue, or it is building a good quality governance startup? What are the key learnings, sir, from you, which you can explain to them what they have to do?
It all depends on what kind of investment arm that you're approaching. Suppose most of the VCs, as Srikanth was mentioning, there's a limited time period. They're also responsible to give back the money to their LPs with a certain percentage of upside and all that. So they have their own targets and all that. Obviously, they can't wait for 10 years or 15 years. There are some capital available, patient capital available. So you need to approach, suppose your product or your company needs that kind of a time frame, then you should not go to other VCs where they're definitely, within 3-4 years, you have to give back some returns and all that to exit or whatever this thing. So if you don't have that plan, better not to touch such investment this thing, better to go to some impact points, or there are some patient capital available. Maybe Srikanth.
Yeah, that's right. And also, I think, the best way to build your business is bootstrap it. So if you think, your business would take 8 to 10 years, then commercially for most VCs, it's a bit difficult. So it's best that you bootstrap and you scale your business. But if you're approaching investors, if you've decided to approach investors, then it's also important that you appreciate how the VC model works, right? So once you understand that, then you'll be able to work better with, and your expectations are also aligned when you're taking a VC investment.
Thank you. I think well said, sir. What is the key outcome of this meeting is you show the characteristic, and he said we should be more responsible for taking money from VC funds. Whenever you're taking money from VC, you have a timeline, you have to run. Though if you're a techno entrepreneur, as Sir said, look for building your sales team and CEO who can take it to the next level. And another point we clearly mentioned, based on the sector where we are, India is a great market today. As Sir said, consumer economy has been increased very well. There is a huge scope in India itself. If you can build products in India, sell in India, no need to run to US until less, as Srikanth also said, based on your customer need, you have to move to near to customer, then only you move to US. There is no need that you have to go to US only to build your products. So these are the key points which Sir and Srikanth has put it in point. Before I close the session, any one or two questions from people who are sitting here? Any questions you have, you want to ask the panelists? Anybody has any questions? Go ahead.
Can you repeat?
So the CEO of the company
Yeah,
has to
he
be
should
the
market his company, right? If he is not a good storyteller to convince the investors or your customers, then you will not be able to break the ice.
Thank
But
you, sir.
that story has to be real story.
And that was my statement. So what was your question? Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, so actually my question again focuses around sales, right? I was really,
Keep
engrossed.
the mic little closer.
Sorry about that. So again, coming back to the same thing that he was talking about, not exactly that, but being somebody from the technical side who's actually engrossed in building the product. Now, my co-founder happens to be my wife, who's also a finance person, right? So she's been after my life, go get the customers, right? So the point is, yeah, being a storyteller is great. I can do that. I can also passionately pitch my product, but going ahead and building that actual sales strategy, right? About that is something that I still feel is a very big challenge for people like me. It's not the story as such. I can very passionately go ahead and give a pitch, but the problem comes in the actual strategy.
No, sure. Then you should take, have your person accompany you. But what I'm saying is when you're starting off, you said you and your wife, you can't afford to have CTO, CSO, all of CMO and all of them.
Exactly.
And you're an entrepreneur. You're not a professional, just working under, a large team and you're just contributing your bit and you're moving out, right? Every business has to be commercially viable, right? That's why you chose this entrepreneurship. Apart from other things, of course, money is also important, I'm assuming, isn't it? So you should be able to get those initial customers by yourself. And how do you do that is only when you're able to, sell your vision, basically articulate it. When I said sales, it's just articulating very clearly what is the real solution and what is the real problem, what is your solution, right? If you are able to do that, you'll get your first few customers and then you'll probably get funding if you're looking for it. And then you can hire the right people who will probably go and do that, but you'll still be the face of the company in terms of guiding the product, maybe be reachable to the customers, key customers, if not all. So that's really important.
Thank you all. Now, Minister Sir is coming, sir. I think, thank you for your valuable insights, both Srikanth and Jay Sir. I request whenever you have time, meet Jay Sir. He is a personality which will help you to a next level wherever it is needed. Thank you for your time, sir, spending with us. Because now Om Sir said Minister Sir is coming in 3 to 5 minutes. We have to close. Thank you all. You can take small break before Minister Sir comes. Thank you all. And I think we have some bouquet or something.